Hey everyone, today we are playing Selesnya Aggro. Similar to Selesnya Toxic, what we're looking to do is play a bunch of cheap creatures, generate some board advantage, go wide, and completely decimate our opponents, ideally within the first 6 or 7 turns, although this deck does have good reach. The difference is that instead of playing Phyrexian creatures and counting to 10, we are playing humans and counting to 20, but we have a bigger presence to do it with. We run Hopeful Initiate, Recruitment Officer, and Skrelv as our 1-drops. Hopeful Initiate will slowly get bigger over time and maybe deal with artifacts and enchantments as well. And Recruitment Officer is a nice little 2-1 that can get us creatures with mana value 3 or less later in the game. There's only 2 cards in the entire deck that we cannot fetch with this. It's a really powerful ability. In the 2-drops, we run the default 4 copies of Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. I think with all the cheap removal in the format right now, anything less than 4 is a mistake. We also run 2 copies of Katilda Dawnhart, which will surprise you in terms of the amount of times that she will prove herself to be useful. With so much poison in the format, we also run 3 Melira, but we don't just use her for the poison ability, we also use her to protect another creature with her exile ability. And she's also just a 2-mana 3/3, which is really good stats. Then in the 3-drops, we have Anointed Peacekeeper to keep our opponents honest, Brutal Cathar to exile a creature and swing the tide of battle, and Adeline is just sweet, sweet value. Rounding out the deck, we've got 2 non-humans, but 2 very important pieces of the puzzle. Firstly, Sigarda will pump up all our humans and will activate the Coven ability fairly regularly, and pick up more creatures to maintain the pressure. And we also have Ajani, Sleeper Agent, to put some +1/+1 counters on things and give them Vigilance. A really nice combo with Katilda Dawnhart. And since everything is either a creature, planeswalker, or a land, most of the time the +1 will hit something. And that's the deck. Let's get into the games. Okay, let's see what we've got here. We're going first. Looks like Plains into Plaza of Heroes into Overgrown Farmland will be the play. Hopeful Initiate into Melira into Anointed Peacekeeper. Yeah, this is good. We can go with this. Alright, turn 1. Hopeful Initiate a 1/2, but being able to play a 2-mana 3/3 is really good. Who knew? Okay, Plaza of Heroes will play down the Melira. And then we'll attack. And then next turn we can set ourselves up for another attack. Also, Melira can't be touched by cut down, but they do get to proliferate. Let's see. They don't have anything else. We'll let that resolve. Okay, not really what I wanted to see. Let's have a look at Anointed Peacekeeper. Reject Imperfection, Distorted Curiosity, Distorted Curiosity. Do I care about Reject Imperfection? I don't think so, so we'll go for the Distorted Curiosity. I forget that you can just do this. Yeah, it has a name, Distorted Curiosity. We'll do this. Vraska's Fall I'm not too worried about. There's another Hopeful Initiate. Let's go. Let's play 2 more Hopeful Initiates. Really hoping we can do something with these. Experimental Augury. Yep. Going to go up to 2 poison counters at this point. The great thing about Anointed Peacekeeper is that it will force... Oh, they've got something else. That's annoying. I'm going to play Anointed Peacekeeper again. Reject Imperfection, Distorted Curiosity. We're still going to name Distorted Curiosity. Down to 13. End the turn. See if we can force them to do something they don't particularly want to do. So annoying. I think they can count themselves incredibly lucky that they've drawn everything they want to draw and we've drawn nothing but lands. We're going to attack here. Going to force this out. I'm going to leave the Boseiju in my hand for the time being. Sure. Okay. Still going to attack here. See what we can do. I'm going to Eiganjo this. Yep. Put our opponent down to 7. Hopefully they don't have a board wipe. They have to play 2. They have to play 2 cards this turn to flip the Moonrage Brute back over. Feeling good. Oh, this Dimir Poison deck, by the way, has a 44% win rate last time I checked. I don't understand why people are playing this deck. Even as I was getting a bit salty and my opponent was just finding ways to remove everything, it just wasn't enough for them. All right, on to the next game. Okay, opponent going first, but we do have quite a strong opener. We can go Hopeful Initiate into Adeline. We can't do the turn 3 Ajani because I'd want to use Ajani for his -3 ability. Kessig Flame Breather. Very interesting. Just gonna do this then, and not all out attack and just pass the turn. I have seen a few budget red lists play Kessig Flame Breather, but I think that there are better cards you can use. Okay. Do I just block with the Hopeful Initiate here? I think I do. No, I'm not going to. And the reason I'm not going to is that I have Adeline. Now, the problem is that... do I go for Chandra here? I kind of think I do. Yeah, and then next turn, I can play Ajani Sleeper Agent. And really start putting my opponent in a bit of trouble. Opponent's on 12. Adeline's pretty good. Mechanized Warfare, okay. Down to 9. Cool. I think I do play Ajani Sleeper Agent here, you know? Look at my options, right? I play Ajani Sleeper Agent. I can also play the Brutal Cathar to get rid of the Kessig Flame Breather. That's also an option. I think, though, it is Ajani Sleeper Agent.
Until the multiverse is won, we will fight to make it.
There we go. Do I just all out at Chandra here? I kind of think I do. Opponent's on 20. Yeah, opponent should really just let this go. They don't. Okay. Opponent's on... I'm on 9. Opponent can just burn us out. Phoenix check. Yep, sure. Kind of feel like my opponent should be going for me. But they're not. If I go for Anointed Peacekeeper, I can name so many different things, right? And it will also have Vigilance, whereas Brutal Cathar can just take out Kessig Flame Breather, which is not fun. I think I do just do this. This attacks. I'm going to keep my 2/2 back as a blocker. Put my opponent down to 15 and pass the turn. Next turn, I can play the Ajani Sleeper Agent. I can also play Anointed Peacekeeper. I'm on 7. Squee. Interesting. Still nothing. There's Thalia. Okay. Down to 5. If I do go Anointed Peacekeeper, I can name play with fire and then also play Thalia. Okay, I think that's the correct play. Oh, I should have played the Anointed Peacekeeper and Thalia beforehand. Yeah, I'm going to name play with fire. And then I'm also going to play Thalia, so this is going to cost 4. That better not be a mountain. Nah. Yeah. Oh. The joys of playing against mono red. Alright, opponent's going first. This is quite a good hand. We can go recruitment. We can go Skrelv actually into Katilda into Adeline. Perfectly happy with this. Recruitment Officer could be soldiers. There's a Brutal Cathar. Often when we are in this sort of matchup, whoever plays Brutal Cathar second will win. Yeah, this is definitely soldiers. Cool. We'll play Katilda. Nothing we can do about taking one. Valiant Veteran, yeah. No blocks. We'll go to 11. Not really much I can do there. Anointed Peacekeeper could name anything, really. Like, this isn't good. Let's go... If I go Recruitment Officer into Adeline, that puts me to 10. I think that's probably the correct play. If I go to combat... I'm not going to go to combat, that's silly. I'll go to 10. Another Valiant Veteran would be awful. There's Harbin, okay. Opponent's stuck on land. Do I just go Boseiju into Ajani? No, I don't think that's correct. I think, however, I definitely do this. I can play Brutal Cathar, take out the Harbin. Yeah. Let's do that. Normally, there's double Brutal Cathar. Excellent. Normally, what I do is I could attack with Adeline or some blocks. They could double block this if they want. If they double blocked it, that would be good. Yeah, punish my opponent with only 2 lands. I think, you know, it's really easy to just rush into these things, right? But I attack with Adeline, they double block, or they just take 6 and there's a 1-1. Even if they draw a 3rd land, the only play they can do is Yoshin Frontliner, or they double block with Thalia, so I can play a 2nd Thalia. I've got this Ajani Sleeper Agent next turn. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how I handled that. Going first, we have no turn 2 play with this Hopeful Initiate, which isn't great, but I think we still keep this. We can go Razorverge Thicket into Plaza, as we are clearly up against mono red. Pink check. Sure. As we draw a land for turn 2. Yeah, we'll get him for 1. Feldon. 16. I think at this point we do just play the Brutal Cathar, take out the Feldon. Force them to have it. They play so many removal spells, right? Bloodthirsty Adversary, interesting. Strangle. Fantastic. Down to 11. Another Brutal Cathar at this point might be okay. We'll play the Hopeful Initiate into the 2nd Brutal Cathar. Again. We won't attack this time. We're on 11. Musto Swift Spear. I swear to God, if they have another... Oh, dear. Okay. We'll do this. Down to 6. I think this is the only way we win, right? No attacks, pass the turn. I mean, at least it didn't go to my face. Reckless Stormseeker, sure. There's an Eiganjo, whatever. We put it into our hand, right? And Sigarda attacks. Risky play of the day? Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, because now I can still play the Sigarda. Down to 5. Sure. Do I just say Eiganjo, the Phoenix chick? I think I do, you know. $14? What did they find? Play with... Oh, you are kidding me. Oh, it's just rude. Next turn, they can go over the top. I can't attack with Sigarda, because they can bring back Phoenix Chick. Go to combat. Do I attack with the Hopeful Initiate as well? No, I don't think I do. I think I just attack with Adeline. The reason why I was thinking of attacking with Hopeful Initiate as well is because I'm going to play the Recruitment Officer. I could have played Recruitment Officer, but so Adeline does an extra point of damage, but I don't want them to know what I have. Something comes down with the extra +1/+1 counter. This Plaza of Heroes is looking really tasty. We're only on 4. Play with Fire is not going to our face, so it's a good job. I hope they're not slow rolling us and it's like, oh, I have 2 burn spells in my hand after all. Play with Fire, play with Fire. Ha ha ha. That would just be so rude. No, nothing. Nothing. Wow. I'm surprised I won that one. That was very close. Okay, going first. No turn 1 play, but it's not the end of the world. We have a really strong turn 2 and turn 3 play. If mono black, okay, in that case, I want to play the Thalia and not the Melira so that they spend an extra turn dealing with that. If they want to cut that down, that's fine. They cannot. Okay. We'll go to combat. I'll play the Anointed Peacekeeper, see what's going on over there. Sorin, Graveyard Trespasser, Invoke. I have Brutal Cathar for the Graveyard Trespasser. Sorin's annoying, but I can deal with it. I think I do just name... No, Graveyard Trespasser's too good. Yeah, I don't want them to have a turn 3 play. It's definitely an interesting one. There's multiple things we can do there. Next turn, if they play something like a Tenacious Underdog, I can use Brutal Cathar to kill it or exile it and play the Hopeful Initiate as well. Good. Another land, not great, but we're okay. Brutal Cathar. Get rid of it. Hopeful Initiate. Attack. Next turn we've got Melira. Sorin doesn't surprise me. There's a Defector Mite. We'll play Melira. We will play Skrelv. I'm happy to kill off the Sorin. End the turn. Don't need to play Razorverge Thicket here. They play the Graveyard Trespasser. Interesting. What else could they have? Well, there's Sigarda. Yeah, I was going to give I was going to use Skrelv as well to give Anointed Peacekeeper Hexproof from black, and I think we just win that. Opponent, give me a chance to figure out my combat maths before, so that I can commentate before you just concede on me. Yeah, so the plan is play Skrelv, use Skrelv, give Anointed Peacekeeper Hexproof from black, and even if my opponent plays Invoke Despair next turn, I can. Well, I just ditch the. Honestly, I think I just ditched the Hopeful Initiate, and yeah, feeling pretty good about this deck. Feeling pretty good. Going first. It's not a great hand. It looks like a great hand, but it's not, because it's heavily reliant on a third land. And Brutal Cathar is not really good to play naked unless we know what we're up against. Ugh. If I go Hopeful Initiate into Hopeful Initiate, Hopeful Initiate, really reliant on there being a turn 3 play. Or Hopeful Initiate into Skrelv, Hopeful Initiate. I'm going to keep it for the content, but I'm not convinced this is a good hand to keep. So we do play. That's nice. We do play 24 land. So we'll just attack here. We choose not to Fading Hope it. There's Eiganjo. No, I don't want to play Eiganjo. I'll play the. No, I do play Eiganjo because I don't want to lose life. I'm going to play the Skrelv here, actually. Could do with a real good turn 3. They either have Consider or Fading Hope. Fading Hope. They bottom it. Okay. I am a big fan of Mono Blue Tempo in this format. I think that there are a lot of people beginning to see what this deck can do. I'm just going to attack here. I'm going to play the Skrelv. Hope that they counter this. They don't. I'm going to play Thalia then. Impulse. Excellent. Okay. Okay. Hopefully they don't find a second Fading Hope. They took a what? They didn't snap find something. That's really good. No Haughty Djinn. Okay. We're going to attack with everything but the Thalia. Okay, I'm then going to play another Hopeful Initiate and pass. Okay. Opponent not doing much makes me happy. Fading Hope. Yeah. I'll do this. They have a March of Swirling Mists. Okay. How desperate are you? Excellent. 2, 4, 5, 6. There's Melira. Just gonna Brutal Cathar this now. Yeah, there we go. How desperate must they have been to play March of Swirling Mist there? Like, that's why Skrelv's so good. Skrelv's such a good card. Even though it's not a human, he's just too good. You know, he's a Phyrexian, but he's a Defector, right? Which means that he's not on their side. Maybe Skrelv will lead the resistance. Probably not. Probably not. Okay, going first. Not being able to play Melira on turn 2 is annoying. I can either play Skrelv on 1 or Melira on 2. Because of the Overgrown Farmlands. I'm gonna keep this. I don't know what my opponent's playing. I'm hoping it's not red. I'm gonna go with the Overgrown Farmland. I think the fact I can go Melira 2 into Anointed Peacekeeper 3 gives me the most amount of power on the table. Whereas Skrelv, nothing. Anointed Peacekeeper, like, Skrelv's only good as a turn 1 play if you have something to protect it on the following turn. That's good. Looks like my opponent might be on control, and if they're on control, this Anointed Peacekeeper is going to do some work. God, if they go turn 2, go for the throat on my Melira, and then that leaves me able to play turn 3 Anointed Peacekeeper, that could really swing the tide of battle. I would like to draw a land in the next 2 turns. Opponent's really thinking they must have a removal spell. Denick. Esper Legends? Must be. Or soldiers, but if it's soldiers, I'd be very surprised. It is. Urtai Resurrected, Toulouse. Ooh, okay. Do I care about Thalia? Not really. Do I care about Toulouse? Not really, considering I can play Sigarda next turn. I think it is Rafine. Again, me typing things when I don't need to type things and I can just select it. Now, they do have Eiganjo in their hand, and I believe, even if I was to name... Sure. I believe, even if I was to name Eiganjo with an Anointed Peacekeeper, that wouldn't do anything. There's another land. Okay. Sigarda, come on down. And yeah, I think this is the correct play. Sure. I will exile Melira to bring this back. And we will name Rafine again. Or will I? I might change it. I might choose Urtai Resurrected instead. Reason being is that Rafine's just a 1/4. Yeah, I'm going to name Urtai Resurrected. Okay. That's Skrelv. Plaza of Heroes. Target a legendary creature. Okay. I can just go in the air for 4, right? There we go. Skrelv. Anointed Peacekeeper. Yeah, I'm going to name Rafine now. And then with Skrelv, I'm going to target Sigarda, naming White. Okay, what do they get back? No, I'd like to see what's underneath. Rafine and the Raven Man. What are you naming? Rafine. Might just block here. Cool, Ajani. That makes this easy.
We need not fight.
I'm going to do Skrelv as well. And the reason why I'm going to do Skrelv is that it then activates Sigarda's Coven ability. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because after all that, if I'm my opponent, I am definitely thinking of using Eiganjo instead of playing out a Rafine or a Toulouse there. I think like they could bring back Denick so that Eiganjo costs 1. There's a lot of workarounds there. I'm not entirely sure my opponent played that optimally. I might play Esper Legends in the future because I still think it's a really powerful deck. But yeah, this Selesnya aggro deck's really strong. I'm very impressed. Okay, opponent going first. We don't really have a good turn 1 play. Overgrown Farmland is the turn 1 play. Into turn 2, Thalia. Into turn 3, something else. We'll keep this. Not mono red. Okay. I still would rather do turn 2 Thalia. Yeah, definitely turn 2 Thalia now. Make disappear? Sure. Fable. To the surprise of no one. But that does give us a free turn to run out the Anointed Peacekeeper. Make disappear, Brotherhood's End, go for... Oh, jeez. What the actual hell? I'll name Go for the Throat. Because I want them to use all their mana to pay for it. And they'll just Brotherhood's End anyway. Yeah, I'm going to name Go for the Throat. That hurts. That really hurts. This, like, that is... You could not come up with a better hand to have against this deck. I mean, I could Brutal Cathar Shieldred, get in for 3, also play the Recruitment Officer. Yeah, I think that's the play. I am very surprised that they got rid of Brotherhood's End. It's got to be Go for the Throat, yeah. I mean, now what? Now what? I mean, we obviously have to attack with all that. Our opponent's got 2 Make Disappears. They don't do anything. Let's do this anyway. Knowing that I can pay for both make Disappears. Cool. That's really important. Blood Tithe Harvester, not a problem. Not really what I want to see, but sure. Oh dear. No nasty surprises. Cool. I am just gonna do this now. Melira, Adeline. Melira might be quite good. Anointed Peacekeeper. Yeah, okay. Let's play Melira. See what we can get away with. Opponent's really thinking about that, aren't they? Still gonna do it! I attack with these because they've got Vigilance. And then I cannot do this, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm happy to do this. Put my opponent down to 11. And do I Anointed Peacekeeper name Make Disappear? Yeah, I think I do. Or do I name Brotherhood's End? Yeah, I just named Brotherhood's End. Cool. No problem. Yeah, that's right. And then they should... Yeah, they're doing this correct. Interesting. Very interesting. Resolve. Yeah, we'll name Shieldred. Do I attack with Thalia? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I do. I think that's lethal. Yes! Oh, I was doing the maths in my head, and I was like, pretty sure that's lethal. Like, you know when I'm properly concentrating because my commentary goes to pot. But I had my eye on Katilda, and I was like, if they just block an Anointed Peacekeeper, they're like, my opponent just dies. They had to block Adeline. If my opponent blocks Adeline, I'm not pumping, because then I'm just dead on the crackback. Wow. Combat math. Or maths, if you're from the UK like I am. So we've got ourselves a very nice little deck here. Even though I did take this from untapped.gg, I haven't seen anyone really run this Selesnya Humans list. And the great thing about this is that even though the curve is really low, all the cards do something later on in the game. Let me show you what I mean. So Hopeful Initiate and Recruitment Officer, yes, they're 1-drops, but Hopeful Initiate can take out like artifacts or enchantments. And this format is full of powerful artifacts and enchantments, and it's not too difficult to get the 2+1/+1 counters on, even though we run no proliferate. So really good. Recruitment Officer can fetch any card in the deck apart from Ajani or Sigarda, but given the sheer utility of a lot of the cards in this deck, it's a really powerful ability. Skrelv, Mother of Runes, always a good card. Skrelv is legendary, and that's why we're only running 2 of it. It's not great in every matchup, but the matchups he is good in, definitely worth it. Definitely the MVP of the mono blue match today. Katilda is a very interesting one. A lot of Selesnya lists will not run this card, but for this particular build, invaluable. The fact that you can pay 6, put a +1/+1 on each counter on each creature you control, and we run a fair few vigilance creatures, right? We run Anointed Peacekeeper, we run Adeline, we run Ajani, which can give things vigilance. Like, it's a really, really strong card in this list. Not good in every matchup, but good in the creature-based matchups, which is why we've got 2. Thalia is Thalia, always playing 4 in mono-white decks. Maybe some builds play 3, and I understand why, because you don't want to have multiple in your hand. But on the other hand, right now, a lot of decks are playing 8 to 10 cheap removal spells that they can do on turn 1 or 2. So I think 4, even if you see multiple, it's not the end of the world. Melira is really good in a format full of poison. Even though we only saw 1 poison deck today that they are around, we saw the worst version of poison in my opinion. But Simic, Toxic, and Selesnya Toxic are still out there. And also it's a 2-mana 3/3 that can also protect other more powerful creatures in the deck, like Anointed Peacekeeper, which is really good against those mid-range control decks like Grixis. Even though I don't think my opponent played optimally, we are in plat. And in my previous videos, I haven't performed optimally, and I missed 1 point of damage here and there. But Brutal Cathar is excellent. I think of all the cards in this deck, this is going to sound surprising, maybe Brutal Cathar is sort of something that can give way to something like Fateful Absence or Soul Partition. I think given the amount of, the aforementioned cheap removal, has really led to Brutal Cathar sort of its stock going down, but don't play lay down arms. You only run 5 planes. Don't do that to yourself. Don't run ossification. You only run 5 basics. You can change around the basics maybe, but I don't think so. For me, it's Soul Partition or Fateful Absence. Adeline is just, or has always been, in my opinion, an excellent Magic the Gathering card. And there's only 3 because, unlike Thalia, you don't want to see 4 of these because there's not a lot of removal spells that can deal with this. No one's really playing Drowninica, and often your opponents are using their Go for the Throats on something else, so that when the Adeline does come down, it's like you feel like a powerful wizard. Sigarda just gives everything else except Skrelv +1/+1, and the Coven ability can really take you away from your more grindier opponents. And Ajani can really mess with people's combat math. We saw that in the Mono Red matchup. We've seen that in a few matchups actually. I really wish that he had 5 loyalty instead of 4, so that it completed. You could still play him for 3, but I understand it's a powerful ability. I think we'd see Ajani being played a lot more if that was the case. Because I love every single one of his effects. I really do. It looks really cool. Even the -6, which you will probably never play. But I have seen Selesnya Toxic decks begin to play Ajani Sleeper Agent, and I think it'll be interesting to see the future of him as a Selesnya Planeswalker. And then the land, everything's great. The only notable absence, I would say, is Secluded Courtyard. And the reason why Secluded Courtyard is not in this deck is because you run 8 non-humans. You would just name human with Secluded Courtyard, but you do run 8 non-humans, and they all are quite mana intensive. Skrelv isn't. Okay, Skrelv's not mana intensive per se, but it's not colorless, right? Sigarda has 3 pips. Ajani has 3 pips. You always want to play him for 4. You don't really want to play him for 3, so he has 3 pips. So play Secluded Courtyard at your peril. I think a max 2, and you would replace them with Brushland. But yeah, just builder beware on that one. I think this list is really solid. Let me know in the comments what changes you would make to this deck. I am intrigued as to what you guys think to this. I will be back tomorrow with another Magic the Gathering Arena Best of 1 Standard, yada yada yada. If you want another deck to climb with that's similar to Selesnya Aggro, check out Azorius Soldiers above me. But until the next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye bye!